which is all about pumps po, no? So, later tayo mag-attendance, no? Para ma-make sure lang natin na nandito naman po lahat. So, let me share my screen na po. All about pumps. So, we are already done with our diffuser type of pump. We are now going to proceed with our turbine pumps po. Alright, so turbine pumps po. For handling clear liquids, turbine pumps fills a need between centrifugal and rotary. No, so they combine the high discharge pressure of the rotary types with our flexible operation of the centrifugal. Their low capacity, high head, and type used in single stage designs on heads up to 500 feet and in capacities of 1 to 200 gallons per minute and assigned as 5 stages for heads up to 2,500 feet po. So si turbine pumps po are known by several names such as yung vortex natin, yung periphery, at yung regenerative. None of this gives a true description aside from that regenerative. Pag sinabi nating turbine pump, so it's a combination na nung ating centrifugal at nung ating rotary pump. Then we say centrifugal, that is a type of rotodynamic pump, while pag sinabi nating si rotary, that's a type of positive displacement. So yung dalawa, that is a combination of a positive displacement at si rotary pump. No? Alright. So here, yan, meron ulit video si sir for this type of pump. So let's have this po.
The main difference between a regenerative turbine pump and a centrifugal pump is in the impeller. A standard centrifugal impeller has curved vanes that extend from the center to the edge of the impeller. The regenerative turbine impeller has rows of vanes on each side of the impeller's rim. On the suction side, liquid is gathered by the impeller's vanes. After making only one revolution in the annular channel, the fluid has a high velocity that sends the liquid out the discharge. Liquid entering a centrifugal pump's impeller can pass between the vanes only once. Energy is added to the liquid as it travels from the center of the impeller to the rim. In a regenerative turbine pump, liquid recirculates between the impeller's vanes. This helical action carries the liquid forward. Energy is added to the liquid in a number of impulses by the impeller's vanes as it travels from suction to discharge as a liquid builds pressure. For low-flow, high-head applications, regenerative turbine pumps offer better efficiency than centrifugal pumps and can develop several times the discharge pressure of a centrifugal pump having an equally sized impeller. The regenerative turbine impeller can pump fluid with up to 40% entrained gases without damage from cavitation or any performance loss. Centrifugal pumps are not designed to handle gas in a liquid. Gas in a centrifugal pump can create a significant loss in performance, causing fluctuating flow, discharge pressure, and unnecessary wear and vibration of the centrifugal pump's internal components. This makes a regenerative turbine pump a great solution where cavitation is a concern. To learn more about regenerative turbine pumps, visit rothpump.com.
Alright, so that is for our turbine pump, also known as our regenerative pump po, no? Cayetano Marcoleta, nakatikim ng salita kay Kiko Pangilinan, umiyak. Pinasa ko lang. Alright, so we also have the applications po ng ating rotary or ng ating turbine pump. So applications ng ating turbine pump, ginagamit po siya sa boiler feed service. Disregard nyo na sa ilalim. Pag sinabi nating boiler feed service, so ito po yung ating pong mga sa boiler po, yung nagdadala ng gases at saka nung mismong air po natin, no, papunta doon sa from our source papunta doon sa mismo nating turbine ay yung ating tinatawag na boiler feed service po. Then also, it is used for our condensate returns. Pag sinabing condensate returns, once yung ating pong condensate ay na-turn into liquid na, then we are going to use this type of pump to proceed or to repeat the cycle, no? Para magamit ulit yung ating fluid. So turbine pumps are also used on condensate return units where steam heating boilers operate at 15 to 150 psi. Also, on this job, mix of water can be put directly into the boiler or into the receiver since the tank po natin okay, since the receiver tank handles only condensate, the tank can need be only about half the size used per comparable boiler service. When returns accumulate in the receiver, a float switch starts to pump the empty tank until it's stopped by a low water level. So, ginagamit din para po makapag-ipon tayo dun sa ating condensate tank ng ating fluid from the process po. So, alam naman kunwari tayo dun sa steam cycle, no? So, meron tayo dong ginagamit na boiler, may ginagamit tayong pump, may ginagamit tayong turbine, at may ginagamit tayong condenser po. So, that is how we used or we do the we used our condensate return. Alright, so we also have for air conditioning system naman po, pag binuklat natin ang ating air conditioning system, meron dong maliit na pump, na yung maliit na pump yun po ay isang uri ng regenerative or turbine pump. In refrigeration and air conditioning system, turbine pumps are used to supply water to small cooling towers for brine circulating and recovery and transfer the liquid refrigerant. Yung nagtatransfer po ng refrigerant natin, di ba yung refrigerant natin, yun ay gumugulong po. Yun po ay gumugulong sa loob ng ating pong capillaries, no? So yung nagpapaikot po doon ay gumagamit po tayo ng ating regenerative or turbine pumps. All right, so we also have here boiler feed service naman po. In shallow wells, turbine pumps deliver nearly rated capacity on suction lifts to 22 feet at 28 feet suction lift. So the capacity po drops about 50%. Do not use these pumps for higher lifts. So ang kaya lang niya is 22 feet up to 28 feet, hindi natin pwedeng gamitin into higher lifts po, no? So malinaw yun na hindi pwede siyang gamitin into higher lifts. So all bronze unit po ay generally used in brackish water areas. This construction prevents excessive wear of the pump and reduces nung ating maintenance. Kaya maganda rin pong gamitin si turbine pump. Okay. So other application naman po, si turbine pumps po ay ginagamit din for handling liquefied petroleum gases such as the propane and butane. They are built for stainless steel and for chemical and food processing plants po. Also, they handle acids, alcohol, solvents, and dissolved acoustics. They're also used on the filter presses and hydraulic elevators. In coal mines, they remove corrosive mines, water, and dust spray naman, and also the dust spray ay ginagamit din to remove this dust spray yung ating turbine or regenerative pump. Okay? So let's now proceed with our propeller pump. So pag sinabi nating propeller pump, katulad ng laging inuulit sa inyo ng sir, no, si propeller pump on the same axis. Propeller pump is also known to be our axial pump. No, other term natin is axial pump. So itong si axial pump natin or propeller pumps for heads under 40 feet and capacities about 300 gallons per minute as found in the drainage sewage system. So, and storm water disposal. So, kalimitan yung ginagamit natin sa mga flood control natin. So, sa mga flood control projects, pag nagtingin tayo kay Nadiskaya, yan meron silang ginagamit dong propeller pump or axial pump. Kasi, 'di ba, one axis or one-way axis yung ating propeller pump. Ibig sabihin, mas madali natin napapa-flow ang tubig papunta doon sa ating mga dike or papunta doon mismo sa lawa, ilog or dagat na pupuntahan nung tubig, baha. Ihigupin sa taas, gagamitan natin ng propeller pump para maidiretso natin papunta doon sa ating reservoir or pwedeng sabihin natin na dagat or ilog po. Okay, so let's have a video po for this axial flow pump or what we call as our propeller pump. Again, sa axial flow ay the same with our propeller pump po. No, same name, different lang po yung same type or same kind, different names lang po yung gamit nila.
Well, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to see about axial flow pump. What's meant by an axial flow pump? An axial flow pump is a type of a dynamic pump which is designed to move a fluid parallel to the pump shaft rather than radially outward from the impeller. So basically, it has an extended shaft which connect a impeller. It is also known as a propeller pump due to the impeller in an axial flow pump resembles the boat propeller. So it's called as a propeller pump. Basically, this pump located at the elbow joint of a piping system, which helps the fluid flow parallelly in the piping system. Here are a few key components in the axial flow pump. First, the impeller, the rotating component with the axial blade that generates the fluid flow is known as the impeller. And next, casing. The casing directs the fluid flow and helps in optimizing the efficiency. And the final one, suction and discharge port. The point where a fluid enters and exits the pump is known as a suction and discharge port. So let us see the working of axial flow pump. First, we have an impeller design. Basically, the impeller of axial flow pump has a blade that resembles the look of a propeller and the fluid momentum. So as the impeller rotates, it imports the kinetic energy. So kinetic energy means object depending on the mass and the velocity. So it imports the kinetic energy to the fluid. So it flows in a casing. A casing is the outer part of a axial flow pump. So it moves along with the shaft. As I said before, it has an extended shaft that connects the impeller. So by this way, it goes to the suction and the discharge. Let us look at the application of an axial flow pump. It is used for pumping water in a larger scale irrigation system. So basically, it is used in agricultural irrigation system. It is effective in flood water by moving a large volume of water. So basically, it is used in flood control. It is applied in a power plant and industrial faculty for cooling water circulation. So it is used in a cooling system. It is used in a wastewater treatment plant for fluid transfer. It is suitable for providing acceleration and water circulation in fish farms. So basically, it is used for a larger aquarium. It's found in ship propulsion system as well as bilge pumping. Let us see the advantages of axial flow pump. It has a high flow rate, which actual pump are capable of handling a very high flow rates, pretty much which used for set control, by which moving of a large volume of water. It is well suited for application with the low head requirements. It's generally more compact compared to a centrifugal pump. Let us look at the disadvantages of an axial flow pump. It is not suitable for application requiring a high pressure generation. Performance can be affected by changing in the system conditions. And it has a specific application like best suitable for application with a high flow and a low head require, like high flow rate and low pressure. And the summary of an axial flow pump or a specialized centrifugal pump design for application where moving a large volume of a fluid at a low pressure is critical. Their efficiency in this specific scenario make them valuable in various industries, particularly in a situation with the need of high flow rates. So basically it works in a large volume of a fluid in a low pressure conditions. But in a situation where industry or a process that require a high flow rate, it's a well suited pump. And that's all about the axial flow pump. Thanks for watching.
Alright guys, so that is for our axial flow pump. So katulad lang din po nung nabanggit ni Sir no, for our axial flow pump. So it is kung ano yung same axis po yung ating lalabsan. So kalimitan niya ginagamit natin sa mga doon sa ating mga ang tawag dito, yung wastewater treatment plant or doon sa ating mga flood control or doon sa ating mga flood, kasi nga pinapabilis niya on a same direction yung ating flow. So meron tayong pinakita doon kanina na mga malalaki na axial flow pump. So let's have the types po ng ating axial flow pump. So meron po tayong types ng axial flow pump or ng ating propeller type pump, no? So we have here okay. So nandito yung ilan sa mga ayan, ilang type po ng ating propeller pump. Nandun po yung ating tinatawag na mixed flow. So si mixed flow defined as one which the head is developed partly by lift of the well so that the pump is always prime. Actually, space required for the pump is no longer that needed for the vertical motor. So pag sinabi nating mixed flow, then that's a combination of axial and centrifugal flow na pump style po, no? Also, we have the adjustable blade propeller type. So meron pala dito si Sir. Ayan. So this is the propeller pump or the mix, the what we already discussed, no? One which head is developed by partly lift of the well so that the pump is always prime, and actual required for the pump is no longer that needed for vertical motor. So mixed flow pump po. Also, the other one ay yung tinatawag po nating adjustable. So si adjustable naman, si adjustable blade propeller type naman po, adjustable blade propeller type. So when we have this adjustable blade propeller type, so to overcome some of the disadvantage of the fixed blade propeller pump has been developed with adjustable blade impellers. So ang pinapalitan natin not the whole pump but the impeller lang po. No, si impeller yung change natin. So, adjusting the runner blades of the propeller pump improve their characteristic as it does those of the propeller type water wheels. So, yung propeller type water wheels natin, kung One moment po. Okay. So for our nasaan ako? So yung water wheels natin, tandaan nyo yung dinrawing ni Sir doon sa blackboard, yung may bahay, tapos yung katulad doon sa mga fairy tales, so yun yung tinatawag nating water wheels. So parang ganun din yung itsura ng ating adjustable propeller type. So their discharge can be full constant while the head is varied over a wide range, or the head may be held constant and the discharge varied either with good efficiency vanes on the liquid. So this type of pump always has single inlet impeller with the flow entering and actually in the discharge in axial and radial direction po. So dalawa no, parang katulad din kanina no mixed flow, pero ito lang ay adjustable yung blade natin. Usually into the volute type, again pag volute type ay yung casing ang tinutukoy dito, and pumps of this type is usually have a specific speed of 4,000 to 9,000. Medyo mataas yung 4,000 to 9,000 po with our specific speed.
Lagyan ko siya din. Ilaw yung natin yung solar namin na nakakabit ng mga solar.
Okay, let's now have the next one po. Okay, we have the axial flow pump, or simply, this is already our propeller pump. So sa axial flow pump, ang pinakaiba lang niya doon sa isusunod na vertical pump, yung atin pong orientation no ng ating axial flow pump ay nakahiga or in horizontal form. Kaya siya sinabi natin axial flow or in the x-axis. So propeller pump, sometimes called as an axial flow pump, develop most of its head by propelling or lifting action of the vane on the liquid. It has a single inlet impeller with the flow entering axially and discharge nearly axially into the guide case. Pumps of this type usually have specific speed of 9,000. Also to add, kapag po ang gamit natin ay ganito, no, so si axial pump po natin ay mabilis ang velocity pero mababa yung head na kaya po niya. Unlike when it comes to our vertical pump, si vertical pump naman po ay medyo, hindi super taas pero medyo mataas ang head pero mas mababa ang velocity niya. So propeller and mixed flow types pumps are frequently arranged for vertical operation. Kanina horizontal operation, si axial, itong si vertical naman ay in vertical operation. The vertical type pumps are compact and can be placed in the suctions. Kung makikita nyo, ito po yung ating mga ginagamitan no, ng ating vertical pumps. So, iba't ibang uri ito ng ating vertical pumps from small sizes up to the large sizes na ginagamit natin sa drilling at sa drilling at saka doon sa pag-gather ng fuel din. So, ito na yung ginagamit nating mga vertical pump. Alright, so let's have our reciprocating pumps. So pag sinabi naman po natin reciprocating pump, a pump in which motion and pressure are applied to the fluid by reciprocating piston in a cylinder. Parang meron na po tayo ditong piston. No, may piston na tayo na ginagamit. So, a pump in which motion and pressure applied to the fluid by a reciprocating piston in a cylinder. So with this po, ayan. So with this, also known as piston pump, even where steam is not available, a motor-driven reciprocating pump, are so-called power type, are used extensively. So again, pag sinabi naman nating reciprocating pump, this is already a type of positive displacement pump po. So let's have the video here.
Reciprocating pumps. Reciprocating pumps are the class of positive displacement pumps. They change mechanical energy into pressure energy. They use a piston or plunger for pumping the liquid from one location to another location. The piston or plunger reciprocates inside the cylinder, and this motion accomplishes the suction and discharge of liquid. The reciprocating pump works on the principle of positive displacement. It consists of a piston that moves back and forth inside the cylinder. The piston is connected to a crankshaft with the help of connecting rod. When the motor rotates the crankshaft converts the rotary motion into reciprocating motion, and this reciprocating motion is transferred to a piston using the connecting rod. Therefore, the piston starts reciprocating. During this motion, when the piston moves back in the cylinder, it creates a low pressure inside the cylinder. Due to this low pressure, the water from the tank is sucked into the cylinder. These are non-return valves. This valve is a suction valve, and this is a delivery valve. These valves play an important role during the working of this pump. At the time of suction, the suction valve allows the water to flow inside the cylinder. During this time, the delivery valve remains closed. As the piston starts moving towards the left, the suction valve closes and the delivery valve opens. Due to the pushing action of the piston, the water goes out from the discharge valve to the delivery side. This is how the single-acting reciprocating pump works. But with this type of pump, there is a drawback. That is, single-acting pumps discharge on either the forward or return stroke of the piston or plunger. Every cycle of the pump displaces only one volume of liquid. As you can see during the suction process, there is no delivery of liquid at the discharge side. To get discharged during both strokes, we use a double-acting reciprocating pump. This is the design of a double-acting reciprocating pump. The driving mechanism of this pump is also the same as a single-acting pump. The only difference is in the design of the cylinder. In this pump, the cylinder is divided into two chambers, and the piston moves back and forth inside this cylinder. As the piston moves forward, the discharge valve opens and the liquid is discharged from the forward chamber into the discharge line. But during this same stroke, the chamber behind the piston is being filled through the inlet valve present in it. And when the piston moves backward, the discharge valve present in this chamber opens and the liquid is discharged from the behind chamber into the discharge line. But during this same stroke, the inlet valve present in the left chamber opens, and the liquid gets filled in the left chamber. This is how a double-acting reciprocating pump gives discharge during both strokes. This is how the single and the double-acting reciprocating pump works. I hope you have understood how a single-acting and a double-acting reciprocating pump works. If you want to learn more from the driving liquid, this is how the single-acting reciprocating pump works.
Alright, when we say
But with this type of pump, there is a drawback.
So kita naman po natin, no, as on the other side ay tayo ay sasak. Yung sa taas naman pag as we move our piston going to the right, so tayo ay magsasak. Pag nag-move yung piston going to the left, tayo ay mag-discharge. While kapag double acting, no, habang tayo ay nagsasak onto the other side, nilalabas naman into the left side. At pag nagsak tayo into the right side, ilalabas naman into the left side. So sabay na nagaganap ang mga bagay-bagay. Okay? So, let's have also some parts or some types po nung tinatawag nating reciprocating pump. So sa reciprocating pump, so meron tayong suction stroke at saka discharge. When we say suction stroke, the piston or the plunger moves away from the cylinder head, creating a vacuum, katulad na nakita natin sa video. The inlet valve opens due to the pressure difference, allowing po na fluid to enter the cylinder also. The outlet valves remain closed to prevent po yung ating backflow. Also for the discharge po, discharge stroke. Si discharge stroke naman po, the piston plunger moves towards the cylinder heads and compressing the fluid. The inlet bulbs closes due to the increased pressure and the outlet bulbs open, allowing the compressed fluid to discharge from the cylinder. So pagdating natin kay piston or reciprocating pump, no, ang atin pong reciprocating pump ay in terms ng discharge ay medyo mababa. Kasi nakadepende tayo dun sa pumping action ng ating piston. Then sa terms ng head, kaya niya yung mataas or mataas na head. Bakit? Kasi naiipon muna, nape-pressurize muna yung fluid bago natin i-release. In terms naman po ng speed, dahil nga siya ay ipon muna bago i-release, ay medyo mabagal po yung ating velocity. Okay? Then for in terms naman po ng ating priming, ang ating pong ginagamit for our reciprocating pump is self-priming po. No, hindi katulad ng inyong ram pump na kailangan nyo pang i-prime ng ilang ulit. Mga sinuga dito yung super dami na naging priming. Ayun. So kapag sila, hindi na natin kailangan ng additional prime. Ay, si Iko biglang Sorry na. Alright, additional information po for our reciprocating pump. Si reciprocating pump din po natin ay ayan, pag reciprocating pump din po, so slippage in new pumps, fluid leaks past the pump seals not contributing to output, typically within 2%, indicating high efficiency. Pag boiler feed pump naman po, commonly used in steams system, handles high pressure at delivers precise flow rates. Pag pinag-compare natin double acting at single acting, yun yung kanina natin. So sa configuration, meron po tayong simplex, duplex, at saka po yung ating tinatawag na triplex. So si simplex po, single cylinder pump, duplex yung two cylinder operating together, at kapag naman po ayan, kapag naman po triplex, 3 cylinders operating together po. So tatlong butas lang din po yun. Allows customization based on the flow rate and pressure. Pag air chamber naman, smoothens the flow due to the pulsating nature. Placement can be either the suction side or yung ating discharge side at absorption pulsation maintains a steady flow, reducing pressure fluctuation. So air chambers on the discharge part po. So air chambers on the discharge part, many reciprocating pumps are equipped with air chambers sa discharge pump para mas mabilis po ang pag-remove ng ating fluid or pag-discharge to smoothen out the flow and the quiet pump operation and cushion the discharge. When piston reach to the end, if the stroke expansion of this air tends to keep the water in motion until the reverse stroke begins. Frequently means to provide to recharge the air chamber. So this may be done by providing valves for draining water from the space above the discharge valves and replacing it. So ito naman po ay in terms na nung atin pong pag-pumping action. No? So comparison po ng power-driven at direct acting pump, pag sinabi nating power-driven pumps, then these are the pumps that uses electric motor, while kapag si direct acting pumps, ito naman yung gumagamit lang tayo, for example, yung Pozo Negro. No, other types po ng ating reciprocating pump, nandyan yung stoneware, nagawa naman sa clay material, yung hard rubber pump, porcelain plungers, sludge pumps, diaphragm pumps, combination ng diaphragm at piston, at pumps without suction valves po. So these are just steam jacketed as well. So these are just types of pump or reciprocating pump na nakabatay doon sa pagkakagawa or sa material na ginamit in the creation of that type of pump. Let's now proceed with our rotary pump naman po. When we say rotary pump, for many industrial plant and power station, oil, water, and chemical, and the other liquid must be handled under operating conditions for which the reciprocating and centrifugal pumps are not suited. Akin na lang, why not? Ayaw niyo naman? Or ayaw niyo? Thank you, ma'am. Ang sweet talaga ng aking ma'am. Ma'am, thank you po. Ay, salamat, ma'am. Sweet naman, binagbigay ng coffee sa sir. Uy, anong coffee to? City Cafe. Pero at least may nagbigay. Alright, then, yan nawala. Rotary pumps have construction features that make them adaptable to many of the applications. In spite of their external resemblance to centrifugal pumps, rotary pumps are more likely reciprocating pumps because both are positive displacement type. Kung maalala natin kanina yung pinag-usapan nating reciprocating pump, it is a combination ng ating rotary and centrifugal pump. The rotary type combines the constant discharge characteristic of the centrifugal type with the positive discharge features of the reciprocating type. So the flow from a reciprocating type is pulsating. Katulad nung nangyayari dun sa inyong ram pump. Kaya ang ganda na nakapag-ram pump tayo dahil madali yung ating explanation or discussion. Kasi na-imagine nyo na. Pag sinabing pulsating, parang tumitibok-tibok-tibok katulad nung inyong check valve. Naalala yung tuk, 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 tuk. Pagkita nyo, uy, mabilis ng tibok, ibig sabihin, mabilis rin yung magiging flow, no? So the flow from a reciprocating type is pulsating, whereas from the many rotary type is constant naman po. So with this one, let's watch this video.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In our previous videos, we had talked on how various types of pumps work. We talked about centrifugal pumps and reciprocating pumps. But it's not over yet. Pumps are such a wide and evolving topic that a person can keep on talking and never stop. So, in today's video, we'll be talking about another type of pump called the rotary pump. Rotary pumps are positive displacement pumps that use rotary motion instead of reciprocating motion in their pumping action. The rotary pumps can be designed to pump liquids, gases, and even mixtures of the two. Unlike reciprocating pumps, the rotary pumps do not require an inlet or outlet check valve. Since the fluid flow is continuous, they develop a dynamic seal. All rotary pumps have three major operations, unlike the two of the reciprocating pumps. The first operation is the suction operation. Here the fluid is sucked into the pump from the pipe or reservoir. The next operation is the travel operation. Here the fluid moves from the suction side pump to the exit side. The third operation is the exhaust operation. Here the fluid exits the pump and flows into the exit pipe. If you feel all this a bit confusing, don't worry. As we progress in the video, you'll be able to get a better understanding. Ever since the development of better drivers for centrifugal pumps, they have been continuously replacing all types of pumps. But there is one huge disadvantage for these pumps. Similar to how kryptonite is dangerous for Superman, so is high viscosity fluids for centrifugal pumps. This is because it is very difficult to pump these fluids with just the centrifugal action. Due to this, a different type of pump called gear pumps are used. High viscosity fluids are the bread and butter of gear pumps. Gear pumps consist of two gears meshing each other. One gear is driven by an external shaft. This is called the driver gear. The other gear acts as an idle gear and rotates with the help of the meshing action from the driver gear. The gear pumps normally have extremely close tolerance between the gear teeth and the wall of the pump case. The close tolerance is the main reason behind the pumping action. As the gears of the pump rotate, they get separated at the suction side of the pump. This area is generally filled with fluid. Even if the suction area is not filled, the gear pumps are self-priming. This means they are capable of generating sufficient suction pressure to pull the fluid towards the gears for pumping.
And that is also the reason kung bakit ang tinatawag natin when it comes to our positive displacement ay volumetric. If you could see kanina, diba, dun sa ating pumping with reciprocating, iniipon muna natin a certain volume here. Dito sa gearing naman natin with the gear mechanism using our rotary pump, kaya rotary rotating mechanism na dalawa, which is gears, minsan ay yung anong tawag dun sa isa, minsan ay lobe, no, gear or lobe, or minsan ay screw. Dito sa part na to, nakikita ba yung arrow? Hindi ata kitang arrow. Yun, kita ito. Dito sa part pong ito, kaya kung mapapansin nyo, naiipon po muna, the fluid is being trapped here and it is full with a certain volume. No, para paglabas po natin dito sa ating mismong
This is the end of the suction operation. As the gears rotate, the fluid is carried by the gears towards the discharge side of the pump. The tight meshing and almost zero clearance ensures that the fluid doesn't leak. This concludes the travel operation. As the gears now remesh together, the total volume will reduce. This forces the fluid out of the pump through the discharge pipe. This ends the discharge operation. There are many variations and types of gear pumps. The variations are made to accommodate the different types of fluid that they will be used to pump. The first type is the external gear pump. This is the type of gear we discussed until now. The next type of gear pump is called the internal gear pump. There are two different variants of internal gear pumps. One is the gerotor and the other is the crescent gear pump. The gerotor is a type of gear pump which has two gears arranged one within another. The working of the pump is similar to the external gear pumps. The fluid enters the gerotor through an inlet port. The fluid is then transported to the discharge port by the internal gear. Once the fluid is at the discharge side, the area between the two rotors decreases due to its shape. This forces the liquid out through the discharge port. The gerotor pumps are most commonly used in automobiles to pump lubricant or oil. This is because these pumps are smaller than external gear pumps and are also able to pump viscous fluids efficiently. The next type of external gear pump is the crescent gear pump. Just like the previous two types of gear pumps, the crescent gear also has two gears which mesh together. The external gear is larger and has more teeth than the internal gear. However, it gets the name crescent due to the crescent or moon-shaped wall that is present inside the pump. When the teeth of the two gears come out of mesh, low-pressure zones are created at the gaps between the teeth. Fluid is trapped between the teeth of the gears and the walls of the pump. As the fluid travels with the gear, it reaches a point where the gear starts to mesh again. This forces the fluid out of the pump and it exits through the discharge pipe. The crescent pumps are able to pump fluids with much higher viscosity than gerotor pumps. These pumps are most commonly used in oil refineries to pump oil into the holding tanks. The pumps are also used in automatic transmission of cars to pump transmission fluid. Gear pumps are not without disadvantages. Increasing the RPM of the pumps higher than the prescribed value for a fluid can lead to cavitation. The pumps also have issues when pumping volatile liquids. This is because volatile liquids tend to vaporize locally as gear teeth spaces expand. To address this issue, a different kind of pump is used. Lobe pumps are similar to the external gear pumps in the way they work. Similar to how we have two gears which rotate and pump the fluid, lobe pumps have two lobes. The two lobes rotate in opposite directions to pump the fluid. When the two lobes of the pumps come out of the mesh, they increase the volume at the inlet side. This forces the fluid into the pump. As the lobes continue rotation, they carry the fuel towards the outlet side. Finally, when the lobes of the pump remesh again, the fluid is pumped into the exit port. Unlike the gear pumps, the lobes do not make contact with each other. Since there is no metal-to-metal contact, the abrasive wear is very less. This increases the life of the pumps. The lobe pumps are most commonly used in the food industry to pump semi-solids like jams and ketchups. This is because they can handle semi-solids without degrading the product. The lobe pumps are used to pump low viscosity fluids with diminished performance. The loss in performance is mainly due to the fact that the lobes are not in contact with each other. Well, that's it for today's video, guys. We'll meet again in the next one. Until then, bye.
Alright, and that is for our rotary type of pump. No, so si rotary type, maganda po siyang gamitin under sa may solids, but it is not good for our pure solid. Kasi nga, mataas po ang slippage or slip percentage po ng ating rotary pump. Pero kapag yung mga high viscous fluid natin, mataas ang viscosity, rotary pump is very good. So may iba't iba daw po tayong types ng rotary pump. Nandyan si spur gear type, si pump for hydraulic jack operation, yung two-stage adjustable discharge gear pump, heliquad design, combination ng gear and lobe type, si screw pump, sliding vane type, roller type pump, swinging vane type pump. And most probably po kayo nag-thesis, isa sa mga pumps na ito yung gagamitin nyo in your design and development. Kasi kalimitan, kung hindi screw pump, gumagamit sila ng spur or ng ating lobe type pump. No. Meron din tayong roller type, rotary plunger type, tri-rotor pump, rotopiston at saka yung ating universal joint, principle. So meron din po tayong other types ng pump aside from what we already discussed. Nandiyan yung mga deep well, yung boiler feed. Si boiler feed katulad lang din po yun ng ating turbine pump, no? Inihiwalay lang na pang boiler feed. So nandiyan yung reciprocating, centrifugal feed, sewage and sludges, sanitary pump at saka yung mga variable displacement or proportioning pump. Nander naman si plunger, rotary type, diaphragm at pulsating type. And that is all for our pumps. Question po? Question? So on our next meeting po, we are going to have fundamental energy equation for pumps as well as yung ating pump analysis po. Doon na tayo magkakaroon ng ating simula ng computation. So wala ka pong tanong for our types, kinds, and discussion on pump. So we will be discussing next meeting tomorrow, yung ating fundamental, yung pump analysis, aring power imparted, hanggang pump affinity loss. No, pagdating natin kay pump affinity loss, katulad lang nung, hindi ko pa pala na-discuss sa inyo. So I will be discussing this pump affinity loss as well. Ari yung queen has power. Want to try now? Want to try that? Review lang din naman po ito. Piston displacement, PQD, tsaka yung percentage slip. Mabilis lang naman din po ito bukas. So we could finish chapter number 3 tomorrow on our next meeting. Alright, kung walang tanong, let's have your attendance po mga... Nakapag-attendance na ba tayo? Hindi pa, no? Attendance po mga idol. So everyone, please do open our camera for our attendance for today. Iko, please do the honor. Because you are the first honor. Honor. Yung ang ganda ng ngiti ni Ray. Parang may na-good morning kay Ray pagkagising. Iba yung ngiti. Anong gusto mo parating, Japet Clyde, sa pagsasando? Pasalamat ka, hindi pa ako nagsasando dito. Sige.
Sir, wait lang po. Hindi po kasi sa screen.
Sige, sorry.
Okay po. Okay po. 1, 2, 3. Isa pa po. Jump shot po. 1, 2, 3.
Talaga ba, RJ Allen? Putik na yan. Alright, so everyone, thank you so much for attending for today's class. Iko, pasend ako sa ating group chat. Now, for tomorrow, medyo bakbaka na yun kasi meron na tayong konting calculation at alalahan ng ating formulas. Now, so everyone, thank you, bye-bye, and I do hope you have a very great day. Bye-bye po. Love you, mga idol.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you po.
Thank you, sir.